Well, good morning. Today is Thursday, August 9th. I'll try to get Denise on video today, but I don't know that I will. She's going to, we want to go to IKEA, which is about an hour away from here. And because she wants to get some kind of shelving unit or desks or something that I guess they're cheaper there. And we've never been, well, I've never been to IKEA, so I'm kind of looking forward to going. And I don't have any plans to buy anything. We'll see when we get there if I buy anything. But who are we kidding? I know I'm going to end up buying something. I can't go into a store and not buy something, which is bad. It really is bad. You guys understood what I said about the eating. I know that I don't want to go back to my old way of eating. I don't know if I made that really clear. When I go back to my old way of eating, I never felt good. I always thought that there was something wrong with me. I always thought that I had some kind of disease or something. And now that I'm eating healthy, I realize it's just all that poison I was putting in my body, which was all that processed food and all that additives and things like that. I do think that the reason that we have so many kids that are ADD and all of that, I really do believe it's the additives that we put in our food because, I mean, we all had that one rambunctious child in school when we were growing up. Mine was James Cowie, and I remember him. He ended up going to jail for murder. You know, it was just, oh, funny story about James Cowie. I'll tell you a story about James Cowie. Everybody was scared to death of him, and as his future played out, we understand why. But at the time, we didn't know why we understood it, why we were so afraid of him. But when I was in first, he went to school with him from kindergarten till 4th grade. And I went to a Catholic school with nuns. See, I got the bruises on my knuckles to prove it with the ruler. Because I should have been left-handed. But, you know, the devil's left-handed. That's what we were taught. So I had to use my right hand. So I can use either my right or left hand now because I should have been left-handed. But anyway, both of my boys are left-handed. Side note, whatever. But anyway, so we used to have to go to, well, we did. We had to go to church. We went to church Monday through Friday, and then I had to go on Sundays with my mom or my dad. And Saturdays was my only reprieve that I didn't have to go to church. But we always went to church in the morning, and back then you couldn't have anything to eat or drink after midnight before you went to church or went to communion. And if you went to church, you were expected to go to communion. At least, well, you made your communion in the 2nd grade. So anyway, this had to have happened in the 2nd grade because it was after church, and you'd have little milk tickets, and you turn them in the morning before Mass for your milk, and Sister Mary Frances would collect the little tickets, and she'd give them to somebody, and they'd bring it down to the cafeteria, and they'd get the milk all ready, and then we'd go to church, and when we came back, then you could have breakfast. And I always was envious of everybody else. Like I said, I didn't know we were poor, but I just figured it was my mother just thought it was better to do it this way. But they'd have the little, I think they still sell them. Like you can get the little boxes of cereal, like the variety pack, and then it just opens up on the top, and then you pour the milk and you eat it right out of there. We didn't have that. We had a bowl we had to bring home, with a spoon we had to bring home, and our cereal was in a little, they didn't have baggies back then, but like a old bread wrapper or something. Remember putting bread wrappers on your feet when you put them in your boots? I know, sidetrack. But anyway, so we would go, and we would go to church, we'd come back, and James Cowie never paid for his milk. And Sister Mary Frances would have, on the chalkboard, all the milk would be lined up when we got back from Mass. And James sat by the chalkboard, and he would always swipe one carton of milk. Everybody knew he took it. Everybody knew he took it. Nobody said he took it. Everybody knew he took it. And then Sister Mary Frances would call you up one by one because she had your name checked, and you'd go and get your carton of milk. And inevitably, Kathy Zimbrowski never got a milk because she was the last one to go up there because she's a Z. And Sister Mary Frances would say, well, how can that be? Okay, everybody put your milks back up there. So everybody would go back up, and we'd stack our milks back up there. And she would count them, and she'd count the tickets, and then she'd hand them out again, and then she'd be one short. And so she'd say, how can this be going? Someone's taken an extra carton of milk. So then what she would do is she counted all the milk, and she stood by the milk cartons, and she called our names one by one to go up to get the milk. And he would like reach around behind her back when she wasn't looking and swipe the milk. And somebody would always have to go down to the cafeteria and get another carton of milk. I think part of me knew that he was taking the milk. But part of me thinks that she was just so old. But then again, she might not have been old. I was 7. She was probably only 30. And I thought, oh my gosh, are you old? You know, because they had that big old black garb. We used to call them black widows. Because they had the big black hoods and the real long skirts and the rosaries hanging down that they kind of like swung. It's just so disrespectful. But I remember her swinging as she's walking around doing the lesson plan. But anyway, James was always beating people up, and you know, like, and he was always getting in so much trouble, and she'd put him under the desk, and then when she'd turn around and write on the board, he'd come out and he'd like go from underneath the desk, and he'd go, ah! And everybody would laugh, and then she'd turn around and yell at us because we were laughing. Memories. But anyway, what was I don't even know why I brought that up. Once again, go figure me out, because I can't figure me out either. I know I brought it up about something. I don't know. It'll come to me. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so anyway, I know that I can't go back to my old way of eating, and I know that, you know, like, and not that I want to go back to my old way of eating. I like the way I'm eating now, but every once in a while, if I'm just going by like a Burger King or something, I'd love to think I could just go in there and get a Burger King, or I can just go and get a banana split whenever I want to get a banana split. And I just know that that's never going to happen in my life. I'm going to be able to have it. I'm not saying I'm never going to be able to have it, because I'm going to have it. But I know that I'm going to have to really watch what I eat the rest of my life. And I really don't have a problem with it. I really, really don't. But it's just, my thought process at the time was, am I ever going to be able to just say, I think I'll go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and not worry about tracking it. No, I'm not. But anyway, I was going to show you the book I'm reading now. It's Stephen King, The Outsider. I love Stephen King. This is really good. It really is good. And one of the things in here really stood out in my mind of a certain passage in here. It's not going to ruin the book in any way if I tell you this, because it's just part of the book. But there's one character that has tattooed on his one hand, can't, and on his other hand he has tattooed must. And he goes to NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And the two tattoos on his hands are to remind him that he must have a drink. He must have a drink, but he can't have a drink because he knows he can't have a drink. And that's the same with me. A lot of times I think I must have a pop. I must have a pop. But then I think, no, I can't have a pop, because if I have a pop, I'm going to lead to another pop and another pop and another pop, or tonic or soda or whatever you call it. A Coke, a Pepsi. I like in the South they call everything Coke. What you want? Would you like a Coke? Yeah, what flavor? Oh, I'll have an orange one. No, that's an orange pop, but they call it a Coke. Anyway, so I was just, maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't think it was, but who's to know? But anyway, it does to remind me of my journey here. There's a lot of times that I think I must have that. I must have a cookie. I must have a donut. Like when I'm shopping, I must have a donut. But no, I can't. I can't, because it'll lead to a donut every time I go, which was my past. Every time I went shopping, I got a donut faithfully. Without a doubt, my buggy knew this is the way to go to the bakery, because we knew we were going to get a donut, and I got a donut every time. But no more. No more going to do that. Nuh-uh. So anyway, I'll let you know when I'm done with the book how I liked it. I'm about halfway done. I like it so far, but I like Stephen King. So Denise is here. I gotta go. I gotta get Alyssa moving, because Alyssa's going with us, and I'll let you know if I ended up buying anything. Okay, I just remembered why I was talking about James Cowie. It's because I was talking about hyperactive and how I think it's in the food and the additives and things like that. I'm telling you, sometimes things get in my mind, they roll around and they roll around and then they roll around, and then they go, we gotta get out, gotta get out, and then they come out. And that's how I remembered it. But anyway, Denise is outside. I gotta go. I haven't got time to talk to you. Why are you holding me up? I got things to do. Okay, let me show you what I was gonna buy. I did buy something. We knew I would. I was thinking that this wall was way bigger than it is, because, let me show you. This is the purchase I made. I bought a pole that I bought and these hooks that I'm going to hang on there. And this is going to hang in the center like that, with the hooks holding it. And then these little oven mitts that I have hanging here, I was going to hang on this. But for some reason I was thinking that wall was that wide, but it's not. So tell me if you think this is going to look dumb. There's my cupboard. I'll back up a little bit. I know, I got to get rid of those balloons. But anyway, that's my cupboard, and there's my china cabinet. I was thinking of hanging this here on the wall here. Can't get it. Anyway, hanging it right here with the hooks and that hanging, and then hanging my oven mitts over here, which is kind of far from the stove, as you can see, but thinking of hanging it right on there. That was my thought process. What do you guys think? Or should I just figure out somewhere else to hang it? Okay, we're back from IKEA. Denise and the girls ended up getting Wendy's, and I just waited till we got home. So I'm going to have my healthy meal. So I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. My quote is, the first step to getting anywhere is deciding not to stay where you are. 23 smart points, 0 for my egg, my berries, my grapefruit, my banana, tea and water. 3 points for my slice of whole grain, whole wheat toast. 1 point for a teaspoon of peanut butter, and 4 points for an ounce of pepper jack cheese. 8 points, and I have 15 points left for the rest of my day. Okay, I wanted to let everybody know before I forgot that Denise Emery got her 75-pound charm. Yay! We're together. We're 75-pound charm people together. Now we're on to our, I don't know if she has to lose 100. I have to lose 100, but we're on our way. Both of us. Congratulations, Denise. I'm really, really proud of you. Way to go. Okay, Sebastian's up.
Yeah! Go, 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 go. What happened? They got him out? All right, Mossy.
You couldn't run home? Oh. Okay, I'm back from Sebastian's baseball game. So I'm going to have my dinner now. He ended up losing, but they were down by 14 and they came up with 10 in the last inning. 4 short. 2 points for my 2 ounces of ham, 4 points for my 1 ounce of cheese, 2 points for my cup of chili, 3 points for my slice of wheat bread, and 2 points for my lemonade, and 0 for the mustard and the water. Well, I felt bad for Sebastian's team because they came so close to winning. They were so far down. Like I said, they were like 14 runs down. And they had last bats, and they were able to come back within 4, so that wasn't too bad. Tomorrow, I have Sophia. And Denise and I are going to maybe see about setting up the channel, my new channel. And thank you, everybody. You've been sending me a lot of information, a lot of good information, and I've been reading up on it. I forwarded it to Denise so she could look at it too. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. That's all we can try. That's all we can do. But give this video a like. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Leave a comment and share if you think it'll help somebody. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.